All right, on the bench here we have a Chinese-made Spectrum guitar. This is mostly almost like a kid's guitar. It's a little under 22-inch scale. They're not particularly great guitars, but they're good ones to practice making repairs on. This one, you could tell in a lot of ways that it is a cheap guitar because it doesn't sound particularly good. There are some other telltale signs: really cheap plastic saddle. All the edges of the frets are still pretty raw and sharp, so a lot of those finishing touches. And also the bridge is coming up, so if you look here, you can see, and that's probably what's causing a decent amount of the intonation problems, although you might want to check that it ever played perfectly in tune. So the goals of this repair is to just make the guitar sound half decent. All right, so let's take a look at what we have for saddle. It's pretty cheap plastic. You can see that it's starting to wear through. It's also hollow, so we can definitely improve the sound by creating our own bone or composite saddle. Before I try to do anything, I'm gonna score the edges just so that I can get back the original shape and that I don't pull off any of the finish. Trying to be pretty close because we want to put it in exactly the same position when we get back. All right, I'm going to take off the bridge by heating it up and then basically just prying it off. I have these beads that I heat up in the microwave, and then I place them on top. I'll let them sit for 10-15 minutes or so and see how it goes. Okay, let's see what we have here. Try to keep the knife blade pretty parallel to the surface. Don't want to gouge out any of the wood. Oh, coming through that side. Okay. All right, let's see what we have here. All right, that about makes sense. Less expensive guitars will glue the bridge right on top of the finish. And that's usually what causes it to fail a little sooner than others. It's a little slick surface. Overall, it looks good. Nothing crazy, came off pretty well. I'll scrape this off and then I'll clear this area out so we can get a nice wood-on-wood connection and put it back down. Seems pretty good. Oh, that's much better. Look at that sucker. Very nice. No wobble. Ready for a dry fit here. This is a pretty inexpensive bridge clamp. Modified it just a little bit by making a little bit of a shim here with some caulk. So this side here is a little higher up to account for the angle of the bridge, so when I clamp it down it doesn't tilt on me, and the cork should absorb some of that and deform into some of the nooks and crannies, get a little even distribution. It's pretty simple. Screw in, come up from the bottom, and then that goes on top there. And then the other modification I have is just added a extra washer up there to distribute the tension across a little bit more. So that's that side. And that goes in like that. All right. And then these guys go under the wings here. Do it. So that seems pretty good. There's a nice clean seam all the way around. Glue has set on this guy. I'm gonna take a look, see if it worked out. A little bit worried that I glued the actual jig to the guitar. Tried not to, but we'll deal with it if it happens. Seems pretty good. Okay, bit of a moment of truth here. We're gonna start putting some tension in these strings and see if the bridge flies off the face of the guitar. We have a high, and we still have a neck on the bridge. Looking good so far. All right, this is the blank that we have. This is the existing plastic crappy saddle. That is not going to fit in. I'll have to reshave it down a little bit. Other than that, I'll probably just take the radius from it. I will trace out the radius up there. Probably about exactly the way it is. And at least as far as the radius on the top is concerned, because I want to lower the action from what it currently is. So I'll start with that radius, and then I will lower it from there by shaving down the bottom once I get the top angle correct. All right, that should do it. Not super special. I'm just gonna fill it out. I'll adjust the intonation individually. It's just to get the radius. So I've sanded it down to the right width and cut the edges to be rounded, and it's in there nice and snug. Touching up this edge. Okay. It's pretty good at the moment. It's flat on the top, soon to be intonated. Let's do it. Okay, we're gonna look into replacing these tuning machines. You can see there's almost 1/4 of an inch under some of them. Basically what's happening is that they're popping up and tilting a little bit. And when they tilt, they don't line up perpendicular to the screw threads, and then they wind up getting a little chewed up, and then they don't really work very well. And so they go out of tune, which this guitar definitely does. All right. And those guys just popped right out. They should be snug enough to not move. So that's already a sign. All right, well, only one of them was actually press fit. Now that's gone, ran across the room. Okay, so this is the way they're supposed to go in, like that. So we've got a couple issues. All right, the hole is too small. If we look at this, it's just about a little under 10 millimeters. And this is the one that was in there before, although loose. This one is under 8 millimeters. So we have more than just about 2 millimeter difference. So these guys will have to get reamed out, or at least drilled out some way. Okay, gotta fill these holes. I don't have a pencil sharpener, so I'm just using the X-Acto. This is a chopstick. Should go in there like that. Should be fine. So we'll put that in, glue it in, saw it off. Should be all good.